Among the countless startling paradoxes modern physics has unearthed, perhaps none feels more hauntingly graceful than the hidden reality of light. It is a truth that shatters our basic assumptions regarding causality, existence, and the literal path a particle takes. This isn't a chronicle of intricate mechanics or invisible gears, but a story of a radical elegance so alien that while our math predicts its results with godlike accuracy, we cannot honestly say we comprehend it. Imagine a mundane moment, a beam hitting a standard window. Intuition offers a straightforward script. A swarm of photons, microscopic beads of energy, flies toward the pane. Upon contact, every solitary photon faces a binary choice, either pass through the clear barrier or ricochet away. Assuming identical setups, one might guess this path is dictated by some tiny variance, perhaps a slight shift in the photon's internal clock or a microscopic scratch on the glass surface. However, hard data burns this narrative away. Buffing the glass to perfect atomic smoothness changes nothing. For a specific hue of light, exactly 4% always bounces. The photons are clones. The glass is flawless. Why do 96 continue forward while 4, appearing totally random, turn back? What distinguishes those specific 4? This riddle intensifies dramatically when we had a second boundary. Picture not a thick slab, but an impossibly thin layer of glass, like a shimmering oil slick. Now light reflects from both the front and rear faces. If reflection were just a random, isolated event at each wall, we would expect those two 4% returns to merge, creating roughly 8%. The actual result is a breathtaking rejection of that logic. By microscopically varying the film's depth, moving it by mere fractions of a wavelength, we can trigger any reflection rate from 0 to 16%. We can forge absolute shadow where light should exist and quadruple the expected glow where we predicted less. This isn't just a small error, it is a cosmic manifesto. Light mirroring off the back edge isn't acting alone. It is somehow in sync with light at the front, capable of totally erasing it or magnifying it. It's as if the photon at the tail end reaches through time to warn its partner at the start, stay still, or screams in harmony, reflect together. Reality is a rhythmic beat of interference hidden within a glass pane. This flawless pulsing pattern of addition and subtraction holds with mechanical precision as the glass thickens, a steady vibration at the core of existence that persists for millions of cycles. The conduct of light isn't dictated by local isolated moments, but by a global entanglement. The only logic that explains this, the only calculus that captures these specific wild fluctuations, requires us to scrap the notion of a photon choosing one track. The photon never selects. Instead, in a pivot that breaks classical logic entirely, the photon explores every conceivable route simultaneously. It is a spectral voyager of the multiverse. When it hits the glass, it doesn't choose between a bounce and a pass. It navigates all avenues at once. It reflects from the start. It glides through and reflects from the end. It cycles multiple times inside. It even takes wildly unlikely detours. Every single possibility is tangible in that moment of potential. How then do we perceive a specific result, a beep on a sensor, a patch of glow or gloom? The answer dwells in what Richard Feynman, who mapped this strange land, named probability amplitudes. Visualize every potential path not as a simple road, but as carrying a tiny spinning hand, a vector. This hand possesses both a length, its intensity, and a specific angle. The photon's trip is the total sum of these hands for every possible route. Where hands point in roughly the same direction, they build on each other, creating a massive resultant hand, which means a high chance of spotting the photon there. Where hands point in opposite ways, they nullify, leading to a zero probability. In that thin film, the hand for the front reflection and the hand for the back reflection are tallied. If the film's width is such that these two routes differ by exactly half a wave, their hands point in perfectly contrary directions. They add to nothing. Total destructive cancellation, 0% reflection. If the width aligns the routes, their hands point identical ways. They stack. 4% plus 4% becomes 16%, total constructive buildup. Light isn't bouncing like a ball, it is calculating a sum over histories, and the logic of wave clashing carves the visible world from an endless sea of options. This rule isn't just for glass, it is the soul of optics. Why does a mirror follow the law where the entry angle matches the exit? It isn't because photons behave like pool balls. Truly, photons reflect from every single atom on a mirror's face, the rims, the corners, the center. But for most routes, like light hitting the top edge to reach your eye, the hands for adjacent paths point in chaotic directions and effectively mute each other. Only for the route where the angles match do the hands from a wide area point the same way. They converge. The law of reflection isn't a hard decree, it is an emergent effect born from the quiet, chaotic overlap of infinite quantum tracks. You can prove the rims are helping by precisely etching away parts of the mirror to stop the cancellation, creating a grating that hurls light in impossible angles. This sum over paths method reveals a more haunting and minimalist truth when we define what light actually is. Shockingly, the entire vibrating complexity of the seen world, every tint, shine, and ray, boils down to just 2 players and 3 core moves. The players: 1, the photon, the unit of light; 2, the electron, the unit of charged matter; and 3, and only 3, moves from which all else is constructed. 1, a photon travels from A to B; 2, an electron travels from A to B; 3, an electron spits out or eats a photon. That's the whole drama. The red of a bloom, the blue of the sky, the glint of steel, and the firing of a cell in your eye are all just ornate, stunningly layered variations on this basic melody. Everything you see is a 3-step dance performed by light and matter. Photons from stars are taken and released by electrons in air. Those new photons fly to your face and are caught by electrons in your optic nerves. The miracle of sight is just these 3 steps repeated in a vast, eternal loop. We can draw this dance. For any event, light bouncing, an atom glowing, 2 particles pushing away, we must sketch every way it happens using only our 3 moves. Each sketch is a history. A photon goes here, is caught by an electron which shifts there and throws another photon. Every move in that story has its own probability amplitude, its little spinning hand. To find the odds for the whole sketch, we multiply these hands. Here we find one of the world's deepest math secrets. The hand for the core move, an electron emitting or catching a photon, has a set size. Its value is roughly 1 over 137. This number, the fine structure constant, isn't born from any other theory. It is a raw fact of our universe. It dictates the strength of all electricity and magnetism, holding atoms together and shaping the very walls of reality. If it shifted even slightly, life would vanish. Yet, why 1 over 137? We can track it with insane accuracy, but we have zero reason for its value. It is a fundamental whisper from the dark. The sketches reveal another layer of cosmic vertigo. To get the math right, we must include routes where photons do things we call impossible. They can outrun light, slide backward through time, or carry negative mass. These are virtual photons, math ghosts that are never seen, but are vital parts of the sum. One electron pushes another by swapping a phantom photon that might, in the middle math, break every physical law. If we ignore these illegal paths, our math fails. The universe only works when we permit reality this bizarre hidden freedom in its dark rooms. The final result is always logical, but the road to there is through a fever dream. This leads to a terrifying edge of knowledge. We have a theory, QED, that is likely the greatest intellectual feat in history. Its results match reality to 1 part in a trillion. That's like hitting a target the size of a hair from 3,000 miles away. We can use it. We can create lasers and microchips and medical scanners with its rules, but we do not understand it like we understand an object falling. We cannot answer the why buried in its heart. Why does light wander every path? Why do odds emerge from spinning hands? Why 1 over 137? Why just these 3 moves? We have been forced by hard evidence to admit that the solid world of objects is a statistical illusion. It is the averaged blur of a quantum realm where possibilities overlap and only become real when they touch something. This randomness isn't human error, it is foundational. The universe isn't a clock, it's a dice roll. Physics, in its peak moment, abandoned the dream of total certainty. Our best tool is the math of chance. This isn't a defeat, but a landmark discovery. The stress this causes is our burden, not the universe's. Nature simply functions this way. What was discovered about light is a blend of supreme power and total mystery. We have a map of behavior so potent it feels like magic, but the why, the reason for the map's jagged alien edges, remains hidden. We live in a cosmos simpler and stranger than we imagined, built from a tiny set of rules that seem insane, yet are undeniably perfectly real. We are witnesses to this graceful, unexplained ballet of arrows, and we must accept that often in science, true wisdom begins with the bravery to say, we don't know why, but this is how it works. Make sure to like this video and tell Winds of Thought what part of QED breaks your brain the most. This journey through the quantum realm suggests that our perceptions are merely a surface layer, a thin veneer over a reality so complex it defies description. When we look at the stars, we aren't just seeing light, we are seeing the end result of an infinite number of paths taken by countless photons, all summed up by the universe's internal logic. It is a humbling thought that every breath we take and every sight we behold is the product of these ghostly interactions. We are participants in a grand cosmic experiment, one where the rules are set by numbers we cannot explain and actions we can barely visualize. As we continue to probe the depths of the atom and the reaches of the galaxy, we may find more such mysteries, more numbers like 1/137 that stand as silent sentinels at the gates of our understanding. But perhaps that is the true beauty of science. Not in finding all the answers, but in discovering more profound questions. The elegance of QED and the genius of Feynman have given us a window into this hidden world, a glimpse of the machinery that runs the universe. And even if we never fully grasp the why, the how is spectacular enough to fill 1,000 lifetimes with wonder. So the next time you look at your reflection in a window or see the colors of a rainbow, remember the dance of the arrows. Remember that beneath the surface of the mundane lies a world of infinite possibility, where light takes every path and reality is woven from the threads of chance. It is a world that invites us to look closer, to think deeper, and to never stop asking what lies beyond the map. Thank you for joining us on this exploration into the heart of hard science theory. Your curiosity is the engine of discovery, and together we will continue to unravel the tapestry of the cosmos, one paradox at a time. This universe is far larger and more mysterious than we can ever fully map out, yet every step we take brings us a little bit closer to the edge of the unknown, where the most beautiful truths wait to be discovered by those brave enough to look. The silence of the quantum world is not an absence of sound, but a symphony of potential, waiting for an observer to bring it into focus. We are that observer, and the story of light is our story too. A journey from the darkness of ignorance into the brilliance of understanding, guided by the very photons we seek to explain. Let the mystery remain, for in that mystery lies the spark of every great discovery yet to come in the future of human history. The fundamental nature of light is a testament to the fact that reality is far more interesting than our wildest dreams. By accepting the probabilistic nature of the world, we gain a new kind of clarity, one that doesn't rely on the crutch of determinism, but embraces the vibrant chaos of the quantum. It is a shift in perspective that allows us to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, the complex in the simple, and the infinite in the finite. As we close this chapter, let the arrows keep spinning in your mind, and let the mystery of 1/137 remind you that there is always more to learn, more to see, and more to wonder about in this magnificent, inexplicable universe of ours. Science is the art of asking better questions, and today we have asked some of the best. Until next time, keep looking at the world with fresh eyes and never lose your sense of wonder for the dance of light. It is the light that guides us, the light that informs us, and the light that ultimately connects us to the very fabric of the cosmos itself. Every single interaction, every photon absorbed and emitted is a testament to the enduring mystery of our existence and the incredible power of the human mind to map it out. We stand on the shoulders of giants like Feynman, looking out over a sea of probability, and though the shore may be far, the voyage is everything. Let the light lead the way through the complexities of the physical realm, and may your journey be filled with the same elegance and grace that defines the motion of a single photon. It is a grand adventure, and we are just getting started in our quest to understand the underlying principles of all that is. The dance continues, the arrows spin, and the universe unfolds in all its glory. May the light always be with you as you navigate the many paths of your own history. Every moment is a sum over possibilities, and the one you are in is the most precious of all. Thank you for being part of this search for truth and for your dedication to the pursuit of knowledge in an ever-changing world. The quantum realm is our home, and we are its most curious inhabitants, always seeking to understand the rules of the game we are playing. The final reflection of light is not just a physical event, it is a moment of connection between the observer and the observed. We are the bridge, and the light is the message. Let us listen closely to what it has to tell us about the nature of reality and our place within it. The dance is eternal, and so is our quest to understand its meaning in the grand scheme of the universe's design and purpose.